the support, the doubters? What side did you really have?
Well, I would say my husband is my number one supporter. Thankfully, we've positioned ourselves in life to where during my time of staying home, we lived off one income. So even when I started with our flipping houses and then also with me doing just sales on my own, that was kind of like fun money. It's not bill money. This isn't something that's factored to our mortgage and things like that. So there was no pressure for me. I didn't come in here with goals. It was like, whatever I do is just fun money.
Yeah.
And then two, what I liked about real estate was I knew that if I was going to do anything, I didn't want to go to a 9 to 5. I want to be the sole provider for my daughters. So I knew that it would have to be something flexible that I can do when my husband's home from work, or a family member can help out.
Yeah.
So my mom would help watch the kids. So, with real estate, our prime time is usually evenings and weekends. So that worked out perfectly. So I didn't have to put my daughter in daycare or anything like that. And I think when I got up and running, she was just starting like half a day kindergarten. So I literally would have from, I don't know, 9 to 12 to catch up on anything that I was trying to do. And then outside of that, you know, fitting that in. And you'd be surprised. I think it's something that I would encourage moms, because I think for moms, especially ones that do want to maybe stay home or want something not part-time, because real estate is not part-time at all. At least for me, it's not.
Yeah.
But as far as physically being away from the home, if you would like to be more of that role in the house, this works out perfect. Because clients, they don't know what your schedule looks like. Half of them are at work anyway. So,
Yeah.
So I would say I had supporters in that realm. Again, my husband, sole supporter. My mom helps out. And then we've just made it happen that way. And I always keep that at the forefront of my mind. I'm never going to do any more that's going to get away of my initial why and my what. And I've been successful up to this point. So I'm just going to keep that in mind going forward.
How did you get to that mindset? I feel like a lot, finding the why I think is a big challenge for a lot of people. And then,
Yeah.
that always being the North Star, and you mentioned the why and the what is nothing gets in the way of that. How did you, was that just something that you've learned, or was it just how you always were?
I think it's something that I've learned, and it was being home. So you got to think, for 5 years, I knew my why. Like, my why is raising our daughters, why my husband works, and making sure I'm making our house a home,
Yeah.
cooking, cleaning, doing all of that. So that was always the forefront of my mind. I can do anything, but it has to fit underneath this bubble. And for some people, they don't do that. It's like, this is my work schedule. I'll fit these kids, my husband, and anything else around this. But
Yeah.
for me, it's like, this is where I'm at, whatever I'm going to do. It's going to have to go around there, and then we'll go ahead and do it from there.
It's such a game changer when people get to that level in their business and in their career. It's something that I've always struggled with because when I got into the business, I was a recent college kid.
Yeah.
Um, I was getting married to my first wife. I didn't really have a lot of responsibilities. Like, we don't have kid. I don't have kids, and um, I always said, "Hey, I'm available 9 to 9, Monday through Sunday."
Uh-huh.
You just let me know when, right? And like, now that I've been in it longer, and some of my roles have changed a little bit. Now my wife, she's now established in her career. Um, that mindset shift of life first and then design work around your life is a game changer. And it's awesome that you had that going into it,
Oh yeah.
because I know a lot of people struggle with it,
I
myself
think
included.
Yeah, and I don't want to make this like a woman role, man role thing, because everyone's home runs differently, and it's
Sure.
literally what's best for your family dynamic. But in our home, I know, for instance, like, even when I was working a job, like, if one of our kids is sick and the daycare calls and someone's got to go, more than likely it would be me having to go. So I'm like, I don't want to be in a position where I feel like they're like, oh, here she goes, having to take off again because her kid's sick. So it's just like, no, like, I'm going to set myself up to where I don't answer to anyone. people are going to know that I work efficiently and that there's quality behind my work, but there's not going to be compromise with it.
Yeah.
So and it's hard. I mean, there's some days where I don't balance that right. I'm not perfect. But I will say that, if it takes me not being at the highest level that maybe I could reach to be more present with my family, I'm willing to take that sacrifice now just because my window of opportunity, especially with my girls, because I'm a parent, it's small. You know, my oldest, I have 3 summers left with her. She's 15 years old. So it's just like, I don't want to look back and think, darn it, like I wish I would have carved out more time to be with my girls, because I was too busy making money. So it's like now it's like I'm going to do what's going to be that balance. And if I make a lot of money in the process, that's a blessing. But if not, it's worth the sacrifice.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. Like I said, it's something that I've struggled with. I'm getting better. I don't know if my wife would tell anyone that, but I feel like I'm getting better.